So do I have an Osu philosophy degree, whatever the heck that means? So no, I don't. So I know I make these videos where it's like Osu improvement or Osu tips. I didn't go to university to study Osu. Like I go to school to study engineering, which is nothing to do with Osu. Maybe like we can talk about the biomechanics of like what's the optimal finger placement or something, but I'm not really into biomechanics. But anyways, I'm not really that Osu philosophy degree type of guy. So this kind of spiked my interest because I was playing in stream last night. I think it was a guy named Ocean, and he was in chat and he was like, dude, where did you get your Osu philosophy degree? And I was like, what? Where do I get my Osu philosophy degree at? What? I don't have an Osu philosophy degree. If you're talking about my Osu improvement videos, they just came from me watching like self-improvement videos, and then like me just thinking about it and processing it to Osu, and then I just talked about my thoughts about it and what works for me. That's kind of just what I do. I didn't go to school for this. I don't even like go to school for that type of stuff. I literally do engineering. I do like math and science and shit. I haven't talked about any engineering stuff in Osu at all. Like, if we want to talk about like the mechanical optimal way to move your fingers or some shit, maybe I can like think about that and get an answer for you. But that's like some biomechanic shit that I'm not really that familiar with. Like I'm just chill. It's just I'm just like thinking about all the podcast shit that I watch because that's what I like to watch. I like to learn about the body, the human body. I like playing Osu. Combine both of them together, boom. That's my content. Because I think some people might get the perception that I'm some professional Osu player with like some crazy knowledge or insight. That's not necessarily the case. I'm not even like that crazy at the game. I'm like ranked 5900. I've been there for a little bit because I've been having troubles with like playing the game, because my main issue is like actually playing the game because I'm just doing other stuff. But I just want to reiterate that I'm not really that type of top player guy, but I am constantly improving, and I'm just out here giving my insights on my journey, like what I learned, what's personally works for me and might work for you guys. So I feel like some of you guys might be wondering where I get this advice from, because if you look on the Osu content space, a lot of it is just like fun content, like all these crazy 1v1s, profile reviews, tourneys, all that stuff. And I like those stuff. I personally host some of those. You can join them in my Discord server in the link below. But I also like to educate people about things that I've learned and are concepts that apply to make myself better in Osu, because a lot of these are tools that I leverage personally to deal with problems that I face in Osu. So I'm giving these tips away to people who might face similar problems in the hopes of solving their problems, or maybe offering an approach for their problems that might work. I'm not saying it 100% works like all of my tips. I'm just saying that they mostly work for me. Where I got these info from, I like watching a lot of like educational podcasts. Some of these videos are inspired by a neuroscience podcast, Andrew Huberman. It's like just a science-based podcast for how you can leverage like science-based tools to improve your life. And I've watched like a bit of his podcast, and a lot of my knowledge about all of these neuroscience stuff comes from him. I would refer you guys to watch his content if you're really interested in that type of stuff. Maybe there's like one guy out there who's interested in that, because I don't think anyone else is. But I'm basically getting those tips that I learned from him, and I'm basically processing it and applying it to Osu, and I find what works for me, and then I share it with you guys for what actually works for me personally. So in the past, I've said that dopamine is really important for FC maps, like just motivation to play, because dopamine is a neurotransmitter for motivating you to play, also rewards you, and it's just really important, like having a high level of dopamine while playing the game, like a high level of motivation and drive. And if you have a low dopamine, low motivation to play Osu, which honestly I've been kind of suffering a bit lately, because I feel like my drive is just in other places right now besides Osu. But that might change. I might just be going through a season of not wanting to play Osu as much lately. But anyways, like dopamine is really important. I really talk about that, and you can increase it through caffeine and cold showers. Like I participate in those. I mean, caffeine not as much, because I don't even have that much caffeine at home, but that's going to change very soon. And cold showers I do every day. Like when I'm saying the things in my videos, I do them. Just a level of validation there. But yeah, I mainly get this info from like the self-improvement podcast, because I like to improve my life. It's just really nice, and I feel like if people out there improving your life just with exercise, health, fitness, sleep, having good social connections, making money, all that stuff, like just leveling up everything does directly positively correlate to everything else in your life. So I am just saying that if you level up yourself, you'll also level yourself up in Osu. But honestly, it's not the best way to get better at Osu. The best way to get better at Osu is really just play more. Like I don't want to deny the fact that playing more is the best way to play Osu, because the bottleneck for how much you will get better at Osu is just play more, because the more you play, the better you'll be at the game. I mean, look at all the top players in the world. They have thousands of hours, man. Can't expect to be a top player if you only have like 100 hours on your playtime. You're gonna need to invest at least like 1,000 hours. I mean, I'm at 1,000 hours right now, but I feel like for me to become a top player, I would need to reach, like, let me do the math in my head, another 1,000 hours, and I'll probably be like up there, like another 1,000 hours, and I'll have a 1K. That's my prediction, at least. But yeah, I don't have a Osu philosophy degree. I just get my stuff from the podcast, and that's pretty much it. Is there a cost way to support this channel? So subscribe to it, share it to a friend. You guys can also join my Discord server in the link below. It's like my free community where we host cool stuff, tourneys, multis, all that stuff. And yeah, that's pretty much it. See ya.